Your conscious mind has a gatekeeper, and its only job is to keep you the same person you were yesterday. This script is about the security flaw that lets you walk right past it. I'm going to show you the specific 10-minute window each day when your brain's defensive systems go offline, and how to use that time to install new beliefs directly into your subconscious. And the cost of missing this window is steep. You're letting your brain's most suggestible state be programmed by random noise instead of your own intention. Every attempt you've made at self-improvement has gone through this gatekeeper. It's the part of your mind that analyzes, criticizes, and filters. When you repeat a positive affirmation during the day, like, "I am calm and confident," this gatekeeper immediately steps in. It cross-references that statement with your entire history of evidence. It pulls up the memory of you being anxious before a presentation. It remembers you fumbling your words on a date. It accesses the deep belief that you are, in fact, a fundamentally anxious person. Then, it rejects the new data. The affirmation bounces off. The gatekeeper's function is to maintain consistency, homeostasis. It works to protect your current model of reality, even if that model makes you miserable. It's a survival mechanism. A stable identity, even a flawed one, is predictable. Predictability feels safe to the older parts of your brain. So when you try to force a new belief through this filter, you're essentially starting an argument with your own internal security guard. The more you push, the harder it pushes back, reinforcing the very belief you're trying to change. This is why willpower so often fails. You're trying to kick down a locked door while the guard is standing right there, arms crossed, watching you. But what if, for just a few minutes every day, that guard gets drowsy, turns away, and leaves the door completely unlocked? That moment has a name: hypnagogia. It's the transitional state from wakefulness to sleep. You know this feeling. Your body gets heavy. Your thoughts lose their sharp edges and begin to drift. Random images might float through your mind, disconnected from any logical sequence. You're still aware, but you're no longer fully in control. That's the signal. It's the sign that your brainwave patterns are changing. During the day, your brain operates primarily in a beta brainwave state. This is the state of active thinking, focus, and alertness. It's the state of the gatekeeper. As you relax and close your eyes, your brain shifts down into an alpha state. This is the state of light meditation and relaxed awareness. The gatekeeper is still there, just less vigilant. But the real opportunity lies in the next shift, down into Theta. The Theta brainwave state is the realm of deep relaxation, dreaming, and profound creativity. It's the state achieved by experienced meditators and hypnotists, and everyone on Earth enters it naturally for a few precious minutes, right before they fall asleep. In the Theta state, the analytical mind goes quiet. The gatekeeper is offline. The door to the subconscious is wide open. There is no filter. There is no argument. Information can pass directly into the deeper operating system of your mind. This is the vulnerability. This is the opportunity. The system has a built-in maintenance window, and for most of your life, you've been sleeping right through it. So, the door is now open. How do you actually walk through it and start rearranging the furniture? Think of your brain as a dense forest. Your thoughts, beliefs, and habits are paths through this forest. A deeply ingrained belief, like "I'm not good with public speaking," is a well-worn highway. It's a neural pathway that has been reinforced thousands of times. Trying to build a new belief during the day is like hacking a new trail through thick undergrowth with a dull machete. It's exhausting, slow, and the jungle tends to grow back the moment you stop. The hypnagogic state, that Theta window, is different. It's like the forest at twilight when the resistance of the undergrowth lessens. In this state, your brain is exceptionally receptive to new patterns. It's a state of high neuroplasticity. When you introduce a new idea here, you're laying down a new path with far less effort. You're not fighting the jungle, you're working with the terrain. This works because of a fundamental principle of neuroscience. Neurons that fire together wire together. When you think a thought, a specific network of brain cells activates in a sequence. Repeat that thought, and the connection between those cells gets stronger and faster. The coating around the nerve fibers, called myelin, gets thicker. This makes the signal more efficient. It turns a faint footpath into a paved road. An affirmation is simply a chosen sequence of neural firing. Let's make this concrete. Your current belief might be, "I procrastinate on important tasks." In the daytime, Fighting this belief creates internal conflict. But as you're drifting off to sleep, you can introduce a new present tense statement, something like, "I act decisively on my priorities." You feel the statement as if it were already true. You don't argue with it. You just hold it gently in your awareness as you drift deeper. You are firing a new sequence of neurons. And because the gatekeeper is asleep, there is no competing neural network firing up to object. You are creating an unopposed signal. That signal, repeated night after night, begins to build a new neural pathway. The old highway of procrastination is still there, but now there's an alternative route. And with each repetition, this new route gets stronger, clearer, and easier to travel. Of course, some part of your brain might hear this and label it as wishful thinking, a bit of magical nonsense before bed. And that skepticism is fair. It comes from the conscious, analytical mind that wants clear cause and effect proof in the physical world. The mechanism here is purely neurological. It's about leveraging a state of brainwave activity where the plasticity of your neural architecture is at its peak. You're using the brain's own rules to your advantage. It's a biological process, a subtle and quiet one. The brain is constantly rewiring itself based on input. All this process does is shift you from being a passive recipient of random daily programming to becoming the deliberate architect of your own wiring. The quiet moments before sleep are where the blueprints are reviewed. But if this process is so quiet, and the changes are happening deep within the brain's structure, how can you tell if it's actually working? What does the result feel like? The new programming gets installed during Hypnagogia, but the code gets compiled while you sleep. During deep, slow-wave sleep, your brain undergoes a process called memory consolidation. It sorts through the experiences of the day, pruning away weak or irrelevant neural connections and strengthening the important ones. The new pathways you initiated before sleep get reinforced during this process. They are integrated into your long-term neural structure. This is why quality sleep is so critical to learning and change. Your brain is literally saving the changes you made. The proof of this rewiring doesn't show up as a lightning bolt moment. It's much more subtle. It shows up as a change in your automatic unthinking behavior. You'll find yourself starting a difficult task without the usual internal debate. You'll be in a social situation and realize, after the fact, that you spoke your mind without the familiar knot of anxiety in your stomach. The change feels less like something you are doing and more like something you are. It's a shift in your default settings. This is a lagging indicator. The internal wiring changes first, the external behavior follows. Many people quit because they expect to feel like a different person the next morning. They do the work for 3 nights, see no immediate change in their conscious experience, and conclude it failed. They're looking for evidence in the wrong place, at the wrong time. They're digging up the seed every morning to see if it's growing. The first sign that it's working is a reduction in internal resistance. The old thought pattern simply gets quieter. It has less pull. You've likely experienced the opposite. Remember a time you watched a scary movie right before bed? You might have had anxious dreams, or woken up with a vague sense of unease. You allowed a powerful, emotionally charged suggestion to bypass your critical filter and program your subconscious. It worked perfectly. This process is neutral. It simply wires in whatever you focus on during that suggestible state. It will build a palace or a prison with equal efficiency based on the instructions you provide. And the stakes of this are far higher than just building a few better habits. This is the mechanism for rewriting your identity. Your identity is a collection of beliefs you hold about yourself. I am an anxious person. I am not creative. I am undisciplined. These are just descriptions of well-practiced neural circuits. They feel permanent. They feel like objective truths. They are just habits of thought. Every time you repeat a new affirmation in the hypnagogic state, you are casting a vote for a new identity. A single vote doesn't swing an election, but a consistent campaign night after night begins to shift the tally. The new belief starts as a whisper, then becomes a competing voice, and eventually it can become the dominant signal. The old identity doesn't vanish overnight. It just loses its power, its neural pathway gets less traffic, and it slowly becomes overgrown. You don't destroy the old self. You just build a new one that becomes your preferred way of being. A feeling repeated creates a belief. A belief accepted creates a behavior. A behavior repeated becomes your identity. Your critical factor, that gatekeeper, evolved to protect you in a stable world. Its job was to keep your behavior consistent, making you a predictable and reliable member of a tribe. It prized consistency over growth. In the world we live in now, adaptation is the new currency. The ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn is the most critical skill. Relying on conscious willpower to do this is like trying to redesign a skyscraper from the lobby. You have to get access to the building's foundation. The 10 minutes before you fall asleep are your access point. You spend a third of your life in bed. Most people see this time as a passive process of shutting down, an unproductive necessity. It's the opposite. The moments bordering sleep are the most active and potent periods for intentional self-creation available to you. You're not just going to sleep, you're entering the workshop. And this same mechanism of reduced critical analysis explains exactly why scrolling through social media or watching the news right before bed can install a deep-seated anxiety that feels, by morning, like it was always a part of you, which is a different kind of rewiring entirely.